Good morning and welcome to Kramer's Corner with Daily Technical Update. It is Tuesday the 17th of June. This video is educational. There's no recommendation or advice whatsoever intended. US markets had a good day yesterday, keeping itself afloat. Nasdaq 100 closed 1.4% higher, very close to take out its little peak here from last week. And if it does, then I'm quite sure. Then I feel confident at least. There's no certainty. Then I feel confident that we'll see a new all-time high on Nasdaq. Here pre-market we are set back a little bit, and also US 500, the CFD. What you can see, it has tested the upper rising trend line here. We have a lower rising trend line forming a wedge-like pattern. It's not the most perfect pattern, but still it is there. Support here 5,920 and this rising trend line. If it takes out the spike up there at 6,069, then we are likely to see higher levels. We've just very quickly look at the cash index, as we see here, same picture really. 6,060. If it takes out that, well, then I think we'll test the and now to make a new all-time high. The Dow Jones index a little bit harder, struggling there. It needs to take out 43,116. If it does, well, then we see a push towards 44,000. In Asia this morning, not much movement really. Still bounced from the 38.2 retracement and support there at 23,827. So that's the range up to the 24,440. That should be observed. A breakout direction will give us a little bit of direction or guidance. Will we make it to 25,000 or will we have a larger correction? The Nikkei future a little bit higher, and currently trading around the minor resistance there at 38,470. And if it closes above, well, then we could see a push higher, but it needs to take out 38,790 for really a push towards 40,000. The European markets, we had EuroStoxx50 that bounced from the support of 5,285. Strong support here at 5,228 if it takes out the lows from Friday here at 5,269. So keep an eye on that. We have the 55 moving average giving some support here. We could see it though, but here pre-market, let's see, we are a little bit lower. If it will change, here we are. There's still a risk to a larger correction. I'm not saying that will occur. Let's see on the DAX. DAX also bounced yesterday from its support there at 23,338. Pre-market a little bit lower though, but not much. It's still above 23,260 here at the CFD / the future. So still holding on, still positive sentiment. And as long as it stays above 40 threshold, then there's still a potential it could bounce further. So keep an eye on here next few days if it will do that or not. But we are in a correction phase. If it takes out the 23,260, well, then there's some support at 22,850. But we also have the 55 moving average coming up and the 100 just below it. That will add to the support. FX market has been fairly calm. We had your dollar spiking a little bit up there yesterday, but didn't really go anywhere. Still trading around the peak here just below 160, spiked a little bit above 160. We're still in a bullish trend, but it's struggling. There's some divergence, as we can see. These levels here on our side lower than here, but mine was higher here than over here. So there's we look a little bit stretched. However, we are still in an uptrend and trust the trend. And if it takes out the peak there at 116.35, then the uptrend is likely to continue towards 117.180. The sterling dollar still in this range between 136.20 and 134.40. The euro-sterling pair, well, still trying to push higher. We are in a positive sentiment with the RSI above 60 threshold. but it needs to take out 85.5. If it does that, then I think we'll see a push up to around 86. Yeah. Moving average 55, 21 and 100 are all rising, indicating likely higher levels. Yen pairs, dollar yen seems to be forming a triangle-like pattern there, testing the upper falling trend line very short term this morning here. But the bigger picture is that it's range bound between 146.15, 146.20-ish level, and the 142 down here. But the breakout of the triangle could be an indication which boundary it will test first. Still being dragged down by 55 moving average, but maybe it will test the upper range there, 146.20-30. The euro yen pushed higher, strong move yesterday, pausing a little bit, still in a bullish trend. No divergence on the other side, indicating likely higher levels. And as we discussed yesterday, I think we could see it up towards 168.40, possibly 169. The Aussie yen seems to be wants to be testing the 786 retracement, and once again here at 94.80. And if it takes it out, then I think we'll see a push up to test the stronger resistance here at 95.75. Sterling yen closed yesterday above its peak there, and has confirmed its bullish trend and extended it, and I think we'll see a push up to 198 here in the coming days and week, possibly. So you can see all the lows here are higher, low, higher, low, higher, low. So it's broken out of this. It seems to be breaking out of this ascending triangle-like pattern. Moving on to Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar is knocking on this resistance here at 65.50. I think it will break it eventually, and then I think we'll see a push up to 66.5, 66.80 resistance. The 200 moving average is still holding back a little bit, but the 55 100 coming up there, and we also have here higher lows all the way. So I think eventually it will break higher. Dollar Canada. Oh, let's just resize it there. Dollar Canada sliding lower and sliding lower. No divergence now, as we can see here on the other side, indicating likely low levels. It could be seen down to 135, possibly low 138.80. Maybe even dipping down to the 200 weekly moving average. There's not much strong support until then. Of course, it doesn't mean it can't bounce, but for now there is an indication of lower levels of dollar Canada. Sterling Canada also in correction mode. Yesterday dipped down the early session we talked about yesterday to the cloud support, and the just above the 100 moving average coming out there, just above the 786 retracement at 183.53. We are in a bearish trend, very short term. If RSI closes back below 40 threshold, it will mean and support lower levels towards 182.60 at least. Swiss francs, well, the Euro Swiss still in this range here between 94.50 and 93, and that's the range it needs to break out for direction. Dollar Swiss, well, bounced a little bit yesterday, formed a bottom and reversal like pattern with a bearish candle, an indecisive doji candle, and then a bullish candle yesterday. So maybe we are in for a little bit of a bounce, and if we can actually say, okay, let's add a Fibonacci to it, and it needs to be adjusted a little bit. There we are. So a correction up to 82.70 to 38.2 retracement is not unlikely. Despite we have divergence here on the RSI. We don't. There's no divergence on the RSI. It is still in negative sentiment, so we could see it pushing lower. But if it starts bouncing, get up to the 38.2 here at 82.17, it could even spike higher to just above 83 at the 61.8 retracement. But the trend is still down. The dollar index trading around the lows here at 97.68, and if we zoom out and look at the weekly chart, we can see it was almost down to the 96.94 support here. We are in a bearish trend, but there is divergence here, so maybe we are stretched a little bit. However, if it takes out the lows from yesterday at 97.23, then expect a push towards 96. Gold couldn't keep traction yesterday and fell back, actually formed a bearish engulfing top and reversal pattern here yesterday. So let's see what that can do. It's still in a bullish trend with higher highs, higher lows, and let's see what this correction here that it is possibly taking in can do. However, still positive sentiment on the RSI, testing its falling trend line very close to at least from the other side. But if it moves back above 60 threshold, then I think we could see uptrend keep being intact, and especially if it takes out the peak from yesterday at 3,452, well, then we are likely to see 3,500 being tested. On the silver one, still taking a sideways breather here. If it takes out the peak at 36.90, well, then expect a move towards 38. On the platinum, still in this correction mode here that took it almost down to the 38.2 retracement at 12.07, so bouncing here. And if it takes out the previous peak here at 1,308 and a change, and it could very well do that because there's no divergence on the RSI, and indicating that we could see it pushing higher, but we are a little bit stretched here. But if it does, then we're looking at a 1400 level. Copper still quite boring at the moment. The copper is just it's really struggling between a medium term and a little bit longer term moving average, basically 100 coming up, 200 coming up, but 55 was declining here. So we are in a bullish trend, slightly, but you will see lower highs here, or higher lows, sorry, still indicating bullish trend. But we need the RSI to close back above 60 threshold for that to be confirmed further, and that will probably require a close above 490, at least 495. On the energy side, we are still in a correction phase here on the WTI crude oil. Dipped lower yesterday below the 38.2, bounced up to the 73.68 minor resistance, but got rejected again, and I think we're still in a bit of correction phase. Could see it down to test the 200 moving average and the 50% retracement at 68.67. However, positive sentiment on the RSI, no divergence, indicating we could see higher levels. And if it takes out 77.60, the peak here, well, then we are looking at these peaks over here around 80, spot 77. Brent crude oil, that massive range yesterday, it opened higher, dipped to the 50% retracement of this entire uptrend there, and then bounced, and now we are trading around in this, well, I wouldn't say no man's land, but we could see it dipping a little bit. I don't think it will take out this support here at 70 spot 41, but if it does, then, well, 68.64 will be tested. I think it will bounce, given that we are still have a positive sentiment on the RSI and no divergence, indicating likely higher levels. The European nat gas yesterday closed basically just on the support resistance here, and this morning seems to be opening above it. RSI yesterday closed below 60 threshold, but this morning is above. If that is also the situation at the end of the day, where the RSI will be above 60 threshold, we could still see a break above 40. We were yesterday we were very close to test the 40 resistance, but however we had the 100 moving average coming down, giving it a hard time to the upside. The US nat gas could be testing the upper part of cloud and the resistance here around 384, 385. On the yield side, interest rates, still the US 10-year Treasury yield that bounced from the 431, 432 support here, and to the upside it needs to take out 452. If it does that, then we're looking at 465. Really not much movement on the 2-year, so not much to report there. It's basically still the range bound between 382 and 382 and 403. On the European yields, we have the EU 10-year still in a bouncing mode, but it needs to take out 260 for further upside potential. Also here in Europe, we are happy that if it doesn't do that, it means still lower interest rates, and we can't complain about that. Support here around 240, that is key. On the UK 10, tested the 38.2 retracement and resistance here just around 460, and if it takes it out, well, then we could be looking at 468. And the Bitcoin, that has keeps bouncing, but it needs to take out these peaks here, or this correction here, or the mini peak, or so to say, at 110,652. If it does that, then I think we'll see a push up to 120,000. Ethereum lagging a little bit though, so basically rise sideways range trading a little bit. However, we are in a bullish trend. There is higher lows here, and there's also higher highs, so we should see Ethereum pushing higher as long as it stays above 2,332. All right, that's all for today. Short and sweet one today, but again, I talk to you later. Talk to you tomorrow. Have a nice day.